follow these tips, I guarantee you extra inches by this time next year. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Amir Mazimoyo, the Brazen Goddess, and on this channel we talk self-care and fitness for busy mamas. And today we're going to be talking about how to grow your natural hair long, beautiful, shiny, thick, and healthy, okay? So I have a few tips that have helped me to grow my hair multiple times through multiple cuts, and just some things that I feel really resonated with my hair journey and may resonate with your hair journey. And I really want you to share, make it a discussion in the comments. Tell me what has really helped you to grow your hair long, whether it's been wigs, whether it's been, you know, protective styling, whether it's been not protective styling, not worrying about your hair, not touching your hair, whatever it is. Share it with us so we can all get our inches together, honey, okay? So my first tip is pay attention to your hair. And when I say your hair, since I mean your hair, pay attention to your hair, okay? And I say that because for so many years I was watching, like, when YouTube hair videos was like the biggest thing out, right? I was watching hair videos all the time, and I would see, you know, mahogany curls, and I mean just hundreds of girls who had beautiful hair. Their hair might somewhat look similar to mine when it was wet, or might look similar to mine in the twist out or whatever, but no one's hair acted exactly like mine. But in an attempt to make my hair act like theirs, I would perform their regimen or their routine for their hair and wonder why my hair came out looking crazy. Let's just be real. So I would do daily co-washing, or I would do I've done everything. I've done cayenne oil on my scalp hunt. I've done henna you know, every 2 weeks. I've done deep conditioner overnight. I've done deep conditioning with heat. I've done deep conditioning with no heat. I've done all kinds of DIY masks and avocado, banana, sweet potato. I've done everything. Like, and the only things that worked were things that worked because they worked for my hair. You know what I mean? Not because I followed a specific regimen that worked for someone else. So pay attention to your hair. And when I say that, I mean how much should you wash your hair really depends on how much your hair can take and how much manipulation your hair can handle. I wash my hair once a week unless I'm in a protective style. Like, I mean, this was twists. I just took them down today, and then honestly I'll probably fluff it out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, honey. I don't know, but I might wear it for another week is what I'm saying, and then wash. So that'll be 2 weeks. But typically I'm washing every week. Deep conditioning every week. That's one thing. Another thing you need to know about your hair is how often should you deep condition. Some people actually don't even feel the need to do it. Their hair feels no more moisturized. It's fine, you know. And some people feel the need to do it every single week. Some people feel the need to do it twice a week to get their hair back on track. So all depends on your hair, but you need to kind of have that hair journal to where you remember how your hair felt when you did certain things, so you don't get caught up in trying new things and not remembering what actually worked, okay? So how often should you wash? How often should you deep condition? How often should you style? And then for how long should you keep the style? And then also certain styles just don't work for certain hair. Like my son, he has a very, very fine hair. My oldest son, he has thick, kind of wiry hair like me, thick strands, and he has locks, and they look beautiful. They're so full and thick, and he has very small coils in his hair. And then my next son, his hair is like kind of like a loose curl, and it's very silky. So like me trying to lock up his hair, it just looks scalpy. Me trying to twist and stuff like that in his hair, it doesn't really work out. So what I have to do with his hair is, you know, kind of stretch it out, put it in 4 or 6 plaits to let it dry, and then cornrow it, because that's what works for his hair, you know. So it really just depends on your hair's tendencies as far as the styling. Porosity, you know, having different porosities, I kind of see why certain things work for certain porosities. Like my baby girl, her hair is very high porosity, and so I can moisturize her hair and then turn around and it just looks like a sponge. Like, it looks completely dry. Like, I do not moisturize her hair. Error 404, moisture not found, okay? And my hair, or my second son's hair, or even my oldest son's hair, I can moisturize our hair And you know, as long as we kind of sleep on satin or have a satin headscarf or whatever, it can last, you know, a week or two moisturized with that. So it really depends on your hair tendencies, what styles will work for you, but experiment with it. For me, wearing my hair in a stretched state that is nicely moisturized with something light, and then, you know, keeping it in somewhat of a protective style, like I've been wearing it in a low bun all week, that just works for me. Also, trimming your hair is very important, but it's important, again, here we are, it depends on your hair. Okay, some people can go 2 years without trimming their hair and their hair is completely fine, it's down past their butt, they're good. Okay, and some people, they have to trim every 3 months or so to get rid of any splits before they really become tangles. So for me, doing maybe every 4 or 5 months, every 4 months or so works the best, and that kind of keeps my ends very healthy, where they're not splitting and breaking, or they do split but they're not really like causing serious breakage without sacrificing so much length. So it depends on your hair, but that works for me. And then also my next tip number 2, I guess one was kind of extended. Tip number 2 is don't choose style over health. So if there's some style where it requires you to put, you know, glue in your hair, it requires you to, you know, constantly dye your hair because it's like a shortcut or something like that, if it requires you to, you know, just do those things like bleaching your hair, or if you have to constantly flat iron your hair for your hair to look good. Like I've had friends who they literally said every day before I went to school I would flat iron my bangs or, you know, my hair or whatever, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, sis, you can't do that. You have to keep in mind health over style, and sometimes your silk press might not be as perfect or bouncing or silky or behaving or whatever, but you have to sacrifice that sometimes when it comes to the health of your hair. So that means not using high heat. That means not constantly wearing a style that you have to constantly detangle, comb, not, you know, just doing certain things that will cause wear and tear on your hair on a consistent basis. So my next tip number 3, is protect your hair. And that kind of has 2 categories, especially in my opinion. I was in the school of thought for many years that you have to wear true blue ends tucked protective styles for your hair to grow. I'm learning that sometimes your hair can still, you know, behave as if you're protecting the ends and everything, even if you just use a protective product. So some protective products include shea butter, include a nice hard gel. You know, a gel cast can really protect your hair from brushing against things, and that just blew my mind. Like, I'm from back in the day, like Hair Lisa, Long Hair Care Forum. I'm like from that school of thought, and I always thought that you had to have some kind of roll and tuck style. You had to look like somebody's granny, somebody's librarian, to grow your hair long and beautiful. And I'm seeing so many examples lately of women who have grown their hair long without protective styling, but they all use some type of protective coating on their hair before just wearing it down and letting it brush on everything. So that kind of has 2 categories. You know, it's something I'm learning, and it's something I would definitely keep sharing with y'all as I experiment with it more. Another one, the number 4 tip is use oil sparingly. And this is another new revelation that I've seen. And for my hair being super coarse and low porosity, me constantly putting oil, or like I used to use castor oil, the thickest oil you can find, right? I used to use castor oil on my hair every day. I used to oil my ends like a good girl should. Okay, I would moisturize and seal before I put on my satin bonnet. And my hair was wiry and hard. It literally felt like a Brillo pad. And every time I tried to re-moisturize, it was obvious that the new coating of moisturizer was not getting into my hair strand. So I would literally be putting my cream on like a good girl should, and it was just white sitting right on top of my hair because it could not sink in because of that thick layer of castor oil or coconut oil or whatever. So if you're going to use oils, use a very light oil. I do recommend like jojoba oil, carrot oil, something lighter that can actually permeate the hair. And I do sometimes oil my scalp, even though, you know, you don't have to do it like constantly or whatever. I do sometimes oil my scalp just because I like the feeling. I like to massage my scalp, and sometimes my scalp does get pretty itchy because I sweat a lot, so it kind of protects my scalp from all that sweat. So be careful with oils. It can inhibit your growth if your hair is not receiving moisture because of oil buildup. The next tip is growth aids, and I've seen it more on forums than I've seen it here on YouTube, but it used to be a huge thing, and I know it's not so much anymore, because people are more like in a keep it simple, how can I get the, you know, Instagram baddie styles type videos now, because YouTube has just changed so much. But there are a lot of growth aids out there that can really help you to kind of 10x your hair growth. One that I've constantly used and shared on this channel is Liquid Gold Hair Growth Oil, and I just used it last month when I had my mini braids in, because it's just so easy to, you know, my hair's already parted, it's already stretched, like it's already ready. And I'll use it again when I put my mini braids back in, because please believe they're coming back. Okay, and I'll show you kind of how I put my liquid gold hair oil in, and I'll show you kind of how it works. I'll chart it so you can actually see my hair growth rate with it, but it works so well. I used it before my wedding to grow my hair out, and I'll show you guys some pictures too, like how full and beautiful my hair was for my wedding. And I use it consistently over the years. I'll use it like every few months. I'll do like a whole month with it to kind of get my hair through a growth plateau or whatever. And I do feel like I still get an inch a month when I use the oil consistently. So that is one thing, growth aids. Now there are some crazy growth aids that people have gotten into over the years. Like I said, I've fallen victim to some of them. You know what I'm saying? I've used cayenne oil on my scalp. Had my scalp burning, headache, girl, everything. It was horrible. Don't try it, okay? But I've seen women use yeast infection cream. I've seen women use everything under the sun to grow some hair, honey, okay? I don't get all crazy. I use liquid gold hair oil, okay? But there are multiple ones out there, and if I find any other good ones, I will link them down below, ones that I trust. But the main one that I trust is liquid gold hair oil. And I've also used, what's the one? Wild growth hair oil. So I'll link those down below. The next one is exercise. And I think this one gets discounted so much because a lot of people don't want to exercise. That's not shade. That's not even shade. I'm just saying. A lot of people don't want to exercise, okay? You can have beautiful hair even if you don't exercise, I know. But imagine all that circulation just going to your scalp. And every time after I exercise, I try to remember to really massage my scalp, and really, like, sweating releases all that sebum that's like on your scalp, and you know, that's kind of, I don't want to say dried down, but that's on your scalp. It really just lets that release onto your hair and swoosh down your strands. Okay, go with me here. Okay, so after a workout, I always try to remember to really like massage my scalp and really let that circulation do its thing to boost that hair growth. So that's a huge like advantage that you can use. Exercise, ladies. We can do that. Okay, so exercise, sweating, it really does help. In hotter climates, I do see that it seems like it is easier to grow hair. I can't lie. It does seem like it's easier to maintain healthy hair, even if your edges are frizzy in the humidity. Okay. The next one, the second to last one, is track your hair growth. And I can't say that enough. I think so often we're like, since my hair's not growing, you know, I need to do something. Where's your growth aid? Do you have some liquid gold hair oil? Like something, because my hair's not growing. But your hair, more than likely, unless you have some type of condition, it is growing. And if you would just track it, like, you know, take your hair, stretch it down, take a measuring tape, whatever you need to do. I have length check t-shirts, and I'll link some actually down below. They're not mine, but I have some in my closet. But it's not my brand or anything. So length check t-shirts, measuring tape, anything that you have, even if you just need to do a video, upload it, whatever you need to do. Take a picture, put it in your computer, and you can kind of look back, and that will help you also to see what worked at the time that it worked and what didn't work. If you got breakage, you know, over a 3-month span when you were trying out wet bunning or something like that, then you know that doesn't work for you, sis, you know? So always make sure that you're tracking it, because something that is not tracked cannot be improved. So remember that, that's the word, okay? The last one is consistency. You know, I've mentioned before how I've tried hundreds of different regimens, and I've tried Ayurvedic regimens and wet bunning and daily co-washing and you know, just all kind of regimens, wash and goes and blow dry and just all kind of stuff. And what has worked best for me is sticking to primarily the same few styles that work and don't break my hair, primarily the same once a week wash and deep conditioning regimen, and primarily the same exercising, drinking water, staying up on my minerals and vitamins type of regimen. So just doing that consistently has helped my hair to grow even after my stint with postpartum shedding twice in 2 years. You know, just all kind of stuff that has like really done damage and taken a toll on my hair over the years. These things have really helped my hair to kind of resume its retaining length, even through the craziness that it has been through. Okay, so stay consistent. That's my last tip. I have so many more for y'all, so let me know if you have any questions about my hair. I will include a length check clip where you can see how long my hair is now, and I'm super excited because it has really been flourishing in this past year. Yes, babe. Follow these tips, I guarantee you extra inches by this time next year. I guarantee that, okay? So let me know in the comments, like I said, if you have any questions, and please be sure to subscribe for more uploads from me. Hit the bell button so you get a little ping when I upload a video, which will be 3 times a week. So I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.